The first ever 3D Mario game was in 1996 with Super Mario 64. Now, while this was definitely not the first ever 3D platformer, it was a massive pioneering step for the franchise, let alone Mario itself. When making this game, they made a decision to condense the amount of levels to develop them out more thoroughly, placing more missions inside of each one versus having a large assortment of levels with just one or two things going on in each one. The game features some of the most iconic levels in all of Mario, such as Bob-omb Battlefield or Whomp's Fortress. Some of the most iconic songs from its soundtrack are also an incredibly notable feature, and it even has some boss fights that have been referenced in other Mario games such as Mario Kart DS. Now, with how revolutionary the game was, for many those growing pains are still very much present, with many people finding the game's controls clunky and camera to be frustrating by today's standards. Super Mario Sunshine. Sunshine took a similar approach to Super Mario 64 in terms of the amount of levels and there being a wide variety of missions in each one. However, this time around the entire game is set on a beach vacation theme. This game is unique in a sense that the plot is completely its own, with Mario getting arrested and the characters even being voice acted. Another primary thing that sets this game apart is Flood, a contraption made by Professor Egad that acts as a vessel for the platforming, allowing you to hover in the air or attack enemies. Throughout the game, there are even other nozzles that you are able to unlock that impact what Flood is able to do. One of the most infamous elements of this game are the blue coins, which although not required for beating the main game, are brutally difficult to collect if you are going for a 100%. Super Mario 64 DS. This was a remake of the first 3D Mario game for the DS, acting as a showcase of what the handheld was supposed to be capable of. It features brand new missions and 3 brand new characters to play as, with a selection of minigames and a multiplayer mode to even further round out the experience. For many people, this remake comes with a drawback though. Due to the lack of an analog stick on the DS, the game is controlled using the D-pad, which can easily become cumbersome. Super Mario Galaxy. The most cinematic Mario game, it carries a bombastic soundtrack and presentation style. The game features an incredibly experimental platforming style, with many levels featuring segments that have you running around spherical objects. Generally speaking, this game is considered to be much more accessible and comfortable to control than the predecessors by today's standards. This game also introduces Rosalina as a character, being the protector of the cosmos. She gives you the spin attack, which is the main new move in this game, and offers a very unique angle of slightly correcting jumps if you mistime them and attacking enemies. Super Mario Galaxy 2. This is pretty much more of Super Mario Galaxy, with a slightly faster pacing and perhaps slightly harder level design. The game drops the cinematic undertone for a much more goofy and whimsical theme throughout the entire experience. The game even brings Yoshi to the Galaxy sub-series, bringing with it a few special abilities that could be used, specifically in the form of fruit. Super Mario 3D Land. Released during the age where many felt Mario games became a little bit monotonous and stale, Super Mario 3D Land's reputation was generally forgotten about compared to other entries, in large part due to this very specific factor. There really wasn't a centralized theme or presentation style to set it apart. However, many really enjoy the large variety of levels thanks to the 2D Mario influenced approach. Super Mario 3D World. This brings the concept of Super Mario 3D Land to the Wii U with HD graphics and the introduction of multiplayer to the 3D Mario series. The world map actually has you running around freely from level to level, with various miscellaneous levels such as the Captain Toad stages filling out the adventure, even leading to a whole spin-off game. Similarly to Super Mario Bros. 2 on the NES, this game features multiple playable characters, each with their own unique traits that can help personalize the experience. And hey, for those that actually go through the whole main adventure, you can unlock Rosalina as another playable character as well. Super Mario Odyssey. This changes the series up with fewer levels acting as sandboxes filled with various moons for you to collect, this time around not kicking you out at the beginning each time you collect one. The main new gimmick this time around is Cappy, acting as your platforming companion. Speaking of the controls, many see this as the pinnacle of 3D Mario controlling. Cappy not only allows you to use it for platforming no, but you can also capture enemies and certain objects to inherit their abilities. A primary complaint though that people have about this game is the oversaturation of moons, with a feeling of monotony setting in thanks to how many of the moons are felt to be mundane or filler. Super Mario 3D All-Stars. This was a collection of 3 classic 3D Mario games specifically 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, released during Mario's 35th anniversary. Many loathed this collection for its timed release, making it so you can no longer purchase the game officially, as well as the lackluster presentation and extras. With that being said, there is still slight adjustments to some of these games. For example, Super Mario Sunshine is finally in widescreen, so if you're someone that was clamoring for those changes, then that is there. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Finally, this is a re-release of Super Mario 3D World for the Switch with minor changes such as increased movement speed throughout the board with all the characters. The main difference though is Bowser's Fury, the first truly open world Mario adventure thus far, with the ability to use Plussy to stop Bowser's reign of terror. Although the actual Bowser's Fury mode is smaller than your average 3D Mario game, many have actually seen this as a sign of hopefully things to come for the franchise, with maybe a true step in that full-on open world direction. So that was just a brief summary of every single 3D Mario game within 7 minutes. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe, as that is the best way to support the channel. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and as always, peace out.